Chapter 4 of Re-Becoming Amanda Jane. Waking up Saturday morning, Amanda felt nervous. They were going to have that barbecue that afternoon, and from listening to her father the previous evening, he had invited everyone in town. Amanda could still not remember anything or anyone beyond those she had met over the past week. Dr. Brown, his wife and daughter were also invited. From what she heard from her parents, Lynn Brown was her best friend. Amanda was nervous about meeting her again. What were they going to talk about? She could not remember a single thing they shared in the past. Amanda's concerns were unfounded though, as Dr. Brown had obviously told his daughter about Amanda's memory loss. Their car had hardly come to a halt outside the door, or Lynn Brown was out, running up to Amanda and hugging her. The dark-haired girl with the bright blue eyes immediately found a firm foothold in Amanda's heart. "Oh, Amanda, we have so much to talk about. I cannot wait. Let's go up to your room." Lynn Brown grabbed Amanda's hand and pulled her in the direction of the house. "Amanda!" Anita Jane was about to call Amanda and Lynn back, but Hank stopped her with a hand on her arm. "Let them catch up a bit, my love. I think it will be good for Amanda." Anita smiled at her husband and turned her attention back to their guests. Up in Amanda's room, the two girls had made themselves comfortable on Amanda's bed. "Daddy told me about your memory loss, Amanda. I think it's so cool. Just think, you can start over, and whatever anyone says to you, you can just say you cannot remember. But there are a few things you should know, and I'm making it my mission to fill you in." Lynn Brown laughed, and Amanda could not help herself but to join in. The girl was really someone she could feel comfortable with, and obviously a good friend. "Well, one thing you should know is that Tommy Davis is still pining for you." "Who the heck is Tommy Davis?" "Oh, Amanda, he'll be devastated if he could hear you ask that. He is only the hottest guy in school. Lucy Grant was really trying so hard all term to get him to notice her, but he did not even look in her direction. When we asked him who he was going to take to the school dance, he said he was going alone. We did not believe him, but he did. And he did not even ask Lucy to dance, not even once." Lynn was obviously not fond of this Lucy person, and Amanda had to smile at the amount of glee in her voice when she told the story. "And when he asked me to dance, all he could talk about was you, Amanda." Soon the girls were fully engrossed in the many tales Lynn had to tell about her school friends and foes. When Anita went up to Amanda's room to take the girls some cold drinks, she stopped outside the door and stood listening to them giggling on the other side. It had been months since she had last heard her daughter so happy. She knocked on the door before entering. The girls were sitting cross-legged on the carpet. Music was playing on the little FM radio they'd given Amanda for her 13th birthday. By the time the girls were called downstairs to join the other guests for their meal, the friendship between Amanda and Lynn was firmly re-established. Amanda was amazed at the number of people who had arrived during their absence. "Don't worry, Amanda, I have your back," Lynn said, taking Amanda's hand and leading her to a table where her parents were already seated. Once everyone was seated, Hank Jane knocked on a table with the back of his knife. Everyone fell silent, waiting for him to speak. "We are having everyone together here today, firstly to celebrate Amanda's miraculous return to health, as well as her 15th birthday tomorrow. Secondly, we are having you all here today to thank you for your wonderful support during those difficult months of her illness. Without the support of our neighbors and that of Dr. Brown and his family, I do not think we could have survived as well as we did. Having said that, I would like all of us to bow our heads in prayer. thanking God for his blessings he bestowed on us today. While Hank Jane thanked God for good neighbors, Amanda's health, medical care, good food, and everything he was thankful for, Amanda felt Lynn's hand holding hers, and she knew that her friend meant what she said when she said she had her back. In her mind, Amanda thanked God for making her feel so safe. Later, when they were eating from the wonderful spread Hank and Anita Jane had prepared for their friends and family, Lynn asked Amanda when she thought she would be back at school. Amanda could not think of anything else she would rather do. Having Jamie's company in the afternoons was great, but from listening to Lynn earlier, she really looked forward to meeting her peers at school again. I do not know, Lynn. I cannot see why I cannot go back to school on Monday, but I will have to speak to my parents about it. I would love to be back at school though. Standing at the fire with her parents, Lynn and her parents, Amanda approached the subject of her going back to school. Oh wow, Amanda, I do not think your father and I have even thought about that yet. These last few days have been a complete roller coaster ride. Anita Jane turned to Dr. Brown. What do you think, Gus? Well, I think that there are only a few days left before the mid-year break, and it would probably be best for Amanda to stay home until after the school holiday. Amanda, we need to make sure that you are strong and healthy before exposing you to all those nasty germs at school, okay? But I am healthy. All those nasty tests proved that I'm healthy. That may be true, my dear, but there's no way that what you had been through did not break down your immune system and took a toll on your body. As such, it would really be best to first get some meat on those bones of yours and some more color on those cheeks before you return to school. Now, Amanda, do not pout. Dr. Brown had seen us through these trying times, and with God's help, you were healed. We are going to trust Dr. Brown on this, and that is my last word on the subject. Hank Jane was a good, loving father with an immense faith in his God, but he was no pushover either, and one stern look from him was usually enough to stop their children in their tracks. Come on, Amanda, it will be fine. As soon as the school break starts, I'll get Daddy to drop me off here on his way to the surgery in the mornings. If that's all right with you, Mr. and Mrs. Jane. That would be wonderful, then. On condition you include a lonely little boy in your activities from time to time. Anita Jane smiled at the two girls, who were clearly pleased with this new idea of theirs. We will, Mrs. Jane, I promise. Jamie is a sweetheart. We can paint his nails, do his hair. Lynn laughed. Don't you dare! Anita joined the girls in their laughter. Lying in her bed later that night, Amanda gave a deep, happy sigh. What had seemed so strange to her only a few days ago had become a happy and secure place for her to be. She turned around on her side and buried her face in a sweet-smelling pillow. She loved her life. It just could not get any better than this. And tomorrow is her birthday. She had already seen the wrapped parcels in the bureau, where neighbors and friends have left it. There was a large box with a huge bow from her parents. Oh, if only tomorrow could come quickly. The day's activities had, however, tired her, and regardless of her excitement, Amanda was soon fast asleep. Amanda woke up to her parents and brothers singing happy birthday next to her bed. Her mother was holding a tray with 4 steaming mugs of coffee, a plate of biscuits, and a cupcake with a burning candle. I thought we'll have the birthday cake later after church, but for now you can blow out this candle and make your birthday wish. Hurry up, Amanda, blow your candle so we can start opening your presents. Jamie was standing on the other side of Amanda's bed with all her gifts piled high in his red bull cart. All Amanda could wish for that morning was that life would stay as wonderful as it was right then. With Jamie's help, Amanda started opening her gifts while her parents sat at the end of her bed having their morning coffee. Amanda felt overwhelmed by all the wonderful gifts. There were soaps and powders and chains and bracelets, wonderful caring gifts from people whose names she did not even recognize. She laughed out loud when she opened Lynn's gift. It was a lovely frame with silly little monkeys cajoling along the edge of the frame, and inside a photo of Amanda and Lynn with their arms around one another and laughing at the camera. Amanda loved it and asked her mother to place it on her dressing table. Finally, there was only the huge box from her parents left. Amanda started ripping at the paper. Inside the box were various wrapped parcels. Amanda started with the smallest one. Inside was a necklace made from feathers and shells, wrapped in a note, and in the handwriting of a typical second grader, Jamie had written, "I love you, big sister." "I made it myself," Jamie said proudly. "It's the most beautiful thing I have ever seen, Jamie. I shall treasure it always. Please help me put it on." Amanda handed the necklace to Jamie and turned to him so he could slip it over her head. Then she hugged him close. Looking at her parents over Jamie's head, she could see that both of them were smiling with tears in their eyes. The second parcel contained decorative hair clips, a new brush and comb set. "Soon your hair will be as unruly as ever, and you'll need those again," Anita Jane smiled. The third parcel contained a new leather school bag. "Yes, and soon you'll need that as well. But remember, with such a classy and expensive school case comes good marks." Hank playfully wagged a finger at Amanda. The fourth and last parcel was smaller than the third, but almost as heavy. It contained a Bible covered in leather. Inside, her parents wrote, "To our darling daughter, always keep the faith. We love you and God loves you. Believe this and you will conquer everything that life has in store for you. Love, Mom and Dad, 1st of July, 1963. Amanda hugged her parents, and when the tears started to flow, she pulled Jamie into the family circle, and the four of them stood there in Amanda's room, laughing and crying with joy and happiness.